Do you want to know about the history of this year? Then you gotta watch the video.
Hello, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello, my name is Kevin and I'm from Luxembourg, but I'm ethnically Portuguese. So my parents moved to Luxembourg after the dictatorship fell and everything because of socio-economic reasons to get new opportunities. And so I was born and raised in Luxembourg, but also like going to Luxembourg, the socioeconomic opportunities for immigrants are also limited. So like we still started off pretty like low, worked up a little bit, but then went back low again because of a lot of stuff that happened. Like it was a rough patch, but then at some point there was a beak of light because I got an opportunity to study abroad. Got an opportunity to study at UWC in the US and I took it. Was really happy about taking it, got to see a little bit more. Was a year in college in California and that I enjoyed a lot, but it was liberal arts, not very my educational style, so I chose to look back to Europe where education is cheaper.
What was it like growing up Portuguese in Luxembourg?
Well, in Luxembourg, half of the populations are immigrants. So like it's the highest percentage of immigrants of a European country. Most of them are Portuguese. So like growing up, there was a lot of stereotypes concerning like immigrants that are applicable in all countries applied to the Portuguese people. So we would get a lot like, you guys are not integrated, like you guys are too loud, da-da-dum. Like, and so me growing up hearing those things, I kind of distanced myself from my Portuguese identity. I was always like, no, I want to become Luxembourgish, like I am Luxembourgish, I am not like Portuguese. And it really came to the dismay of my parents because like they had like their own son kind of reject the nationality that they had given him. But I know that my parents were definitely hurt by like me not wanting to be Portuguese and stuff. And it sucks like to have this internalized kind of like xenophobia against Portuguese people build up to you like in circles where you're supposed to learn to be neutral and a good person. I'm happy that like throughout my years I was able to disseminate them and like deconstruct them, but it's still happening today. Like there's still a lot of Portuguese people that don't want to associate with Portuguese people, or they're like, oh no, I'm like Luxembourgish, and that's a big problem like still in Luxembourg.
Can you tell me the process of moving to the US as a UWC student?
Yeah, like going to the UC, which is this international boarding school. It stands for United World College,
okay.
And it's like an association that was an academic association created to like bring teenagers from all countries into one place, and so that they can learn about cultures. Moving to the US, like it was at the beginning was like really I was not even sure if I was gonna move because of my financial situation. Like my parents were divorced, my mom was raising like me and my brother single-handedly. So like I was like, this is not gonna happen, like for sure not. And I was actually ready to like decline the offer to go to UWC. But then I got a phone call that someone had taken up the tab of my like tuition and everything, and it was my best friend's dad who had like proposed my like case in front of Rotary, and then they like decided to help me finance it, and it was amazing. And like I got to go to UWC, and it was super nice.
What was it like living in the US as a UWC student?
It was really nice. Like I have to say, like even though my UWC was in the US, like I have to separate my experiences between like having an American experience and having an UWC American experience, because we were like all in our campus and like we all had our stuff there, so we were really interacting more with our school itself than like with the US. But we did try to like do stuff with the local community, with the local town, Las Vegas, which I thought was going to be Las Vegas, Nevada before I got there.
Where casinos.
Where casinos were. I was like on the bus ride like to the school and I was like, where are all the casinos? And then like someone tells me like, it's not the state. And I was like, wait, what? And yeah, like I really hadn't put much research into the state that I was going to, but I was like, yeah, I'm going to the US, like let's do this. And yeah, but it was great.
So it was Where was it? It was in New Mexico, right?
Yeah, Las Vegas, New Mexico. And
Not
yeah.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
No. It's like small population, like middle of nowhere, like literally middle of nowhere. But it was still super fun, like just being in the middle of nowhere, it gives you like opportunities to like have to bond with people and like get to know them on a new level, and like yeah, like I love my UWC family, like they're still like here.
Aw.
But like that's my UWC like experience. Like my American experience I think came only like throughly to when I went to California for a year, and I was there. Because at UWC I was one of many immigrants, one of many international students, but then in college I was one international student in many Americans. So like it was more of a contrast. But like I integrated, I got the slang down, I became Californian, so.
Oh. What do you think about the US right now? And how did the US change you?
Right now it's a tough one to like
Wow.
pinpoint.
It's sad.
It is a little sad, just because like I'm like definitely not a fan of the administration and what's going on down there, but that's also just not everything the US is to me. Like I really like found a place in the US that showed me where the good heart of the US lives. Like I was in New Mexico, which is one of the poorest states in the US, and I saw like how those people were always so like open and like kind and everything, and nothing like those like white crazy nationalists that you see on TV and everything. Like the US is not filled with those. Like that's a small minority that just gets all the media attention. And then I went to California, which is such a liberal state. Like there's a lot of like freedoms there. There was a lot of community feeling there. There was a lot of like coming together because like we believe in the same things, not because we're from like different places. And especially going to my college in California, which is Pittsburgh College, I couldn't ask for a better college. Like they focus on like what I wanted to focus on in my life. Like they were a very sustainable college, like very environmentally friendly one. And in general in California, like the political correctness culture is a lot more advanced and integrated in regular life, which I like. Like because it's about like respectability. It's about like how much respect do we owe to each other. And the US really like showed me a lot of things that I took for granted as like, oh, this is not a racist action, or this is not a homophobic action. And like, no, it actually is. There was like some misogynistic, some racist, some homophobic root to this action that we don't question as Europeans, because they're so like legitimized and like so reproduced. And so like in the US, I really think I went from like coming as a European, like a naive European who thinks like he knew already how the world worked, to see how the world really works. Like, so yeah, thank you US for that. You're fucking up right now.
Well, thank you so much for being in the video.
Thank you for having me. I hope y'all enjoyed my little history talks. Catch me every Wednesdays in the bar. I'm just kidding.